Welcome back. For decades in Israel, getting placed in the Air Force during one's compulsory military service after high school was a badge of honor. Only the brightest, the most talented teens were able, it seems, to join that branch of service as pilots, engineers, mechanics, technicians. This was part of the national ethos, so much so that the Air Force had a long-standing recruiting motto, the best to flight. But things have changed. Now it's the best to cyber, so much so that high-tech companies in Israel are riffing on that phrase to recruit talented cyber soldiers, with Israel increasingly asserting itself as the startup nation and a global tech powerhouse. The desire for high school grads to serve in prestigious combat units, field teams, it's been dropping considerably in recent years, but there is a growing demand for placement in the technological corps, especially cyber units and intelligence units like the Unit 8200. Many elite tech unit soldiers are heavily recruited after they leave the IDF. They've learned a lot of skills, giving them a leg up over the others, even the fighters. There's a new program aiming to fix that to help combat veterans transition into high-tech jobs. CYMOTIVE Technologies teaming up with Startup Nation Central to launch a program to integrate combat vets into cyber jobs. The program will include comprehensive tech training, workshops, professional guidance and mentorship, and more. With us now is Urit Lanzet, the COO of CYMOTIVE Technologies. Urit, thank you so much for being with me. Great to have you here in studio.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, why is this an important project for you? I mean, to make sure that combat soldiers, talented, committed soldiers who sacrificed a great deal to risk their lives to Israel, that they have a chance to compete professionally in the high-tech world. Why is this important to you?
So personally, to me, I think that it's very important to give as many sectors in Israel as possible that lack the, let it be the skills or the opportunities, or because of choices they have made to help society to get into the strongest financial areas in Israel. And specifically for combat discharged soldiers, we owe them so much for the protection they provide us and much more. And so also for me personally, I can say from my personal story that have I not been granted the opportunity, for example, to study for a bachelor's degree in computer science during my high school studies via a special program from the University of Haifa to help also students not inside of Haifa but at the areas around to study and to advance, I probably wouldn't have the needed stats, let's call it, in order to be chosen into one of the elite technological areas in the military. And I want others that help the country to get as much as opportunity as I have.
I want to ask, I mean, just on the number, by the numbers question here. I mean, if you are in the 8200 unit or another tech unit, you're given years of training and practice. So you learn how to code or to interpret, you learn the ins and outs about computers and networking and internet security and structure. How do you help combat veterans, skilled fighters, be able to compete against someone who's had years in the IDF with that already?
So I think, for example, myself as well as others in the company, we actually come from the areas that prepare and train the soldiers that you are talking about in these programs. So, for example, I have served also as a commander and a teacher in one of these courses. So, but then back then we were younger, and now I think we can take this accumulated experience and to put it into an extreme and fast plan. We are not going to get into the level of depth, but if we have the industry partners that can join us in taking these people, for example, after 3 to 4 months of study, and say, okay, we take them as interns. We know that they are not going to know everything, but we believe in their soft skills, in their motivations, in their ability to cooperate, and we know that they are going to complete this gap as fast as possible.
Yeah, they're leaders.
Exactly.
They are mentors. They are, they're clearly. Urit, I want to ask about, I guess, separate from the training you're offering, what has the feedback been like from the high-tech world? Are the management there willing to cooperate? Do they want to take on these recruits? Do they want to offer mentorship or guidance or internships, or are they pushing back?
So I can say they are definitely cooperative. They understand also the level of competition that there is on talents out there. But also we see now in many places people that are somewhat maybe seniors or qualified, and we tend to see this behavioral weird thing in which people just jump from one company to another, not having any values, any care for the companies that taught them many things and that work together with them.
No loyalty. I mean, it's as simple as that. They don't feel like they owe any gratitude to the company that brought them up.
Definitely. And for example, we have been part of the scale-up programs, and we saw there many leading companies wanting to help in train these people, but also to get them into the company and support them and give them everything they need.
And it's a win-win, because they'll want to stay, they'll want to be able to learn and grow their careers in that company.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, how many? This program, is it up and running now? Are you gearing this up? How many soldiers, every quarter or every year do you hope to be able to train through this?
Sure. So Scale Up Velocity itself currently provides two main plans. It's the Cyber Force and another program. And basically now we're having a program in which there were admitted about 70 soldiers, this past soldiers. And after 1 month of the pre-course, how we call it, we see in both sides who is more suitable and who thinks this career path is for him or her. Mm-hmm. And then later on, they will, and now they just started last week this first course.
It's of 4, and it will last 4 months?
Sorry?
The course lasts four months.
Overall, yeah.
Wow. And so it's 70 right now.
Yeah, and after this initial period, after 1 month, there will be chosen 40 soldiers to continue this plan.
Is this a national issue, do you think? I mean, I mentioned before, the famous saying for so many years in Israel, the best of flight. There was a desire to support combat soldiers, not just during their service, but after, because of how much they sacrificed and how much they give physically, emotionally, mentally, to be on the front lines. And now there's so much focus on high tech and cyber. Is there a failing here from the government? Do private businesses need to step up? Is there more room for others like what CYMOTIVE is doing in order to help this transition? How does the country help step up together?
So I think it's both a matter of the government to take care of it more and to invest more resources into that. Also supporting companies, for example, such as Scale Up Velocities and so on, that are known for non-profit. But I think also we have in Israel a strong mentality of, we want to win now, and we want to, I want to start a company and after 1 year get all, I'm exaggerating it, but, just sell it and everything. And I think we are now getting into a more mature state that we understand that
it's even a career, not a quick exit in the millionaire. You have to commit to a career.
You need to build it, and you need to commit to it. And we in CYMOTIVE, for example, are long into this notion because we are working with the automotive industry. This is a very, very slow industry. We are used to thinking in this way. But I'm seeing it more and more around us that more Israeli companies will also share the same values. And
the 70 or so soldiers in the training now, what are they telling you? What's their response to you that they, that you're taking a chance on them, that you believe in them? What are they telling you?
So what I feel is they are very excited for the opportunity, and they feel like they want. I mean, this is also something big for Israel. Like, I think that the patriotism that is leading them in their previous endeavors also leads them here to be part of this disruptive area. And it's still being part of the most successful and exciting areas in Israel. And I think this is also something that leads them forward.
Well, great initiative, great program, incredible work that is going on here. Urit Lanzet, the COO of CYMOTIVE Technologies. Thank you so much for being with us, talking about this program and the opportunity to help so many deserving soldiers transition into the high-tech industry. Great to have you on the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.